10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Very, very disturbing.
It is.
If it's not at least a little bit disturbing, it's not fun.
Yeah.
So
Very
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
if you're not at least a little uncomfortable.
Well, it is October. It's the whole point of the horror movies.
Yeah,
to make you feel
exactly.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I need to watch more horror movies, man. I haven't watched enough horror movies this year. What have I watched so far this year? I feel like I just watched something.
Didn't you watch Nun 2 with your daughter?
No, I haven't watched that one yet. I keep meaning to. I'll try and watch that this weekend. I haven't watched it yet.
We did watch the No One's Coming to Save You last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I saw that one. So I saw that one. I don't know that. I mean, it's kind of a horror movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Horror enough. It's for somebody like me, it's definitely a horror movie because alien shit gets me way more than ghosts and demons and all that kind of stuff.
I tell you
I've talked about this.
what she needed in that movie was a trunk monkey.
Yeah.
She needed a trunk monkey.
Well, what's funny is like the whole time I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and even my wife was like, she's like, your friends are going to hate this movie. And I was like, why? And she's like, because they're all going to be screaming the same thing you are, which is if she just had a gun, this would have been over already.
Exactly. I was doing the same thing.
Which is true. She's
Well,
like,
the reason why I said the trunk monkey thing is like what's funny after I watched that, like the old trunk monkey commercial where the guy's about to get abducted by aliens is like and it's beating the hell out of those gray aliens.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the chat, people, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you here. Everyone out there watching. I am simulcasting tonight. Did I say casting? What the hell happened to my voice there? I'm simulcasting tonight to both the channels.
You went a little country there.
I know. I don't know what happened. That one voice casting, simulcasting. I don't know why the hell that happened.
It's all right. It's all safe space for everybody. Talk a little country.
That wasn't
your
even like a Texas accent or anything. Like I slip into a Texas accent sometimes, especially if I'm talking to somebody from like North Texas. If I like me. I'm talking to Corey, yes, my accent will start coming out because that's how I was raised with that. And if I start talking to, like, my wife has joked around before that when she's been there when I'm talking to somebody else, it starts to border on her not understanding what I'm saying. she's like, and she has to tell me I'm doing it because I don't realize I'm doing it.
No, but I had a friend that when I was in graduate school, he was from Spain. The really redneck accents, he couldn't understand a word they were saying.
That's funny.
I was glad to one time I took them to this little dive like bar restaurant. They had like trophies on the wall, like best burgers in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah,
and the conversation in the booth next is like, oh god, and he didn't understand a word of it. It's like, yes,
yeah.
It's like if I told him, "Did you Geek Jet?"
Yeah, I know exactly what you said.
Nah, do you?
Do you know what I said?
No, not yet.
I was going to say I ate about a half an hour ago.
I'm going to after the chat though.
Yep. The Geek Jet.
Geek Jet.
Yep.
It's literally
right now.
Jeet. Geek Jet.
Yep. Geek Jet.
Geek Jet? No, not yet. I'm gonna be hungry.
I'm about to.
I haven't eaten anything today. I was up with the puppy like all last night. She did not want me to put her down, and then so I did like take a couple little fucking cat naps when she would occasionally fall asleep, but I didn't like sleep. I took like a 4-hour nap today in the middle of the day. I finally was like crashed the fuck out. So I my day's all thrown off because of everything that happened last night, and so I have not eaten anything since last night. So I'm gonna be real fucking hungry by the time when this chat is done with. But anyway, first off, I just realized I don't have my background music going. Apologies to everyone out there in the chat. for not having the porn music booted up here.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice till just right now. Anyway, welcome to the Week in Geek. We're here to talk about some geeky stuff and have a little fun and see what's going on. By the way, Jared, thank you for holding down the chat last night.
Oh, I don't know if I could have done as well if it wasn't for Quinn.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
what was that? It was like we were like 1 minute from starting.
I mean, it's like we were getting ready to hit the countdown. It's like I can run, emergency.
Yeah, I was like, dude, oh.
And I was sitting there like the whole time, like going over his voice. Man, what's wrong? What's happened? What?
Anyway, we'll get into that later. But so anyway, we're going to talk about geek stuff. There's a few geek things to discuss, a couple of big things. But tonight, I wanted to start off with the biggest thing, I think, which is
My stuff came in today.
Apparently Jared's. What is this?
I got the Mastermind Creations cassette tapes. These reject.
Oh, the cassettes.
Yep.
hell yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And
Yeah, pop the bad boys out and show us.
But now I wanted to talk a little bit about Ahsoka. I want to do a full review of the series, specifically the last episode, because
I called it.
All the episodes since then. So I want to do like a full discussion of Ahsoka and where it ended and where we're at and all this stuff. I want to deep dive it a little bit here because I have lots of thoughts. And and by the way, people. Yeah, there's going to be spoilers here. So if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, then I don't know, mute or something. Don't leave. Just come back later.
And turn the volume all the way down, and
just
then
turn the sound down and guess what we're saying. We'll like.
Yeah, turn the sound down, but give me a thumbs up still. Like, stay in the chat and give me a thumbs up. But just like
you can just thumb up everybody that after you're done with the spoiler alert, so they know to come back after they're muted.
There you go. I'll give you the thumbs up when the spoiler is over. Anyway, so Ahsoka happened and ended the way I think that most of us thought. We had talked about, well, not exactly the way. I think the biggest thing that we had discussed was that, we'd all kind of said that it's probably going to end with Thrawn making it back to the Star Wars galaxy. And that's where it ended, right? That was what. Now, it also ended with a lot of other things that we'll discuss here today that I want to go over. But that was kind of, honestly, that was the thing I think we all knew was going to happen. And, least unexpected. And in a sense, I don't know. I guess it's kind of the biggest deal in the sense that we know this is going to lead to a bunch of other stuff. But there was things that I caught in this finale that I thought were potentially just as big of a deal. So I want to fucking discuss. So Thrawn makes it back. Basics are Thrawn makes it back, Ezra makes it back, but everybody that went to get Ezra still stuck in another galaxy at the end of this. Which I had heard some people speculating online that was probably what was going to happen. That at the very least, Ahsoka was not going to get off the planet, that she was going to be stuck there. But yeah, it was Ahsoka and Sabine and Baylan and Shin. All of the people that basically went there, stuck there. Now, biggest thing that I wanted to talk about, because it was the thing that I've heard the fewest people discussing, was Baylan there at the end, the very end. Baylan standing on a giant statue carved in the side of a mountain, and a lot of people who didn't watch Clone Wars or Rebels had no clue what that was. No concept of what that was, what the significance of that scene was. So let's talk about it here. So this was a very, very clear, blatant, obvious nod to the Mortis gods, or the Force wielders of Mortis, or sometimes they're called the Celestials, right? Depends on what version. Anyway, these are the ancient. I've read some about them. Most of what I know about them, to be honest, is from Clone Wars. But and I've read some about them that for a little bit of backstory. But essentially, these are beings that are the Star Wars universe equivalent of, well, honestly, the Celestials of Marvel Comics. So these are the Star Wars universe kind of versions of like Marvel Comics is like Eternity and Galactus and a lot of these huge, big, powerful beings that have been around since the beginning of time. And that's what these are. And we see them in Clone Wars via the father, the son, and the daughter. And essentially they represent different aspects of the Force. The daughter represents the good side. The son represents the bad side of the Force, the dark side of the Force. The father is kind of the neutral gray area in between.
Which one has the gun? The good, the bad. But I'm the one with the gun.
Yeah. But yeah, like the statues that Balin was standing on was a statue of the father, and you could see in the background there was a statue of the son right next to him. Now, this to me plays right into the mother. And I somebody out there was telling me when I was talking about this the other day, I don't know if there's been some crossover, because I don't know the difference between like old canon, new canon, legends versus what's been made new, because I've not read any of the Star Wars books under the new canon. I've not read any of them, so I don't know what's been changed. My understanding was that Abeloth was the mother. That was what I thought. For those that don't know, I was told by somebody else, no. In new canon, the mother and Abeloth are two different characters. Do we know? Does anybody in here know if that's true, or even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now? I think that's the bigger question. Okay, so I'll explain the way I know it. So there was the father, the son, the daughter. There was also the mother. She was a normal mortal human being who, to stop the son when he drank out of the fountain of evil or whatever, she, a normal human being, millennia ago, when they're all powerful beings except for her, she drank out of the fountain of knowledge, and it made her insane because she was just a mortal, right? And she went so insane. Now, she was a mortal, but she also had incredible force powers. And she went so insane that essentially the other three gods, the father, the son, and the mother, abandoned her on a planet and banished her there and surrounded the planet with all kinds of like force voids and things to prevent people from ever finding her, because she went crazy. And one of the things that she used her force powers to do was carve structures and statues into the sides of mountains. And so that's kind of canon, is she's this all-powerful being that, whatever, is banished to this one particular planet. And so that is the theory now about this planet. What was the name of the planet? Does anybody remember? I don't remember.
Okay, I think I remember from Clone Wars.
But
didn't Anakin fought like one of the Celestials or something like that?
Yeah, well, the daughter, yeah. He fell for the daughter. But which by that time, the mother's been banished for, thousands, millions, I don't know, of years to wherever this planet is. I think it's pretty obvious that the planet is the planet that Ezra and Ahsoka and Thrawn and everybody were on. Seeing as how Balin goes there, says there's a greater thing that's calling him, all this stuff, and then you see him on the side of a mountain carved out into the shape of the father and the son. Like, it's pretty clear that the mother is calling to him at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking this is the planet she was exiled to by the other gods. And she's the one that's calling to him. And I know for a lot of people out there who didn't watch Clone Wars and didn't watch Rebels, that this sounds like we've now gotten into fairy tales and where the hell is my sci-fi Star Wars? To which I say, Star Wars has always been fantasy with the backdrop of sci-fi. Star Wars has never been hard sci-fi. They've never bothered to really explain the science fiction aspect of anything in Star Wars. It's always been about space knights with magic fighting giant monsters and shit. Okay. So for those people who, and I hear this criticism, I do, but like, go with it, man. Go with it. Okay. This whole idea of force gods and all this stuff, it's cool. Trust me, it's actually really cool. So anyway, I think that's what we're dealing with here. I think that's what Dave Filoni is building to, is he's bringing the Mortis gods back to have some greater effect on the universe. Balin got called to this planet because the mother's calling him, because that's what she does. She lures in force-sensitive people in an attempt to use them either as, like, you know, her minions or to try and escape this planet where she's trapped. I think that's what we're dealing with. How does that affect the greater Star Wars universe compared to Thrawn? I think long term, it's a much bigger threat than Thrawn is. If the mother comes back, shit goes down. She's way more powerful than any Sith we've ever seen in any Star Wars thing ever. She's far more powerful than any other Sith we've ever seen. Thrawn is a nobody to her if she can actually get untrapped on that planet. And I think she potentially, if they decide to keep going down this path, she potentially is a much bigger threat than Thrawn is. Well, hello, Duke.
What's up, baby?
Duke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ahsoka, huh?
Ahsoka, yes. Now, Duke, you never watched Clone Wars. How far are you into Rebels?
First season?
First season? Okay.
So into the second season. I am trying not to watch things to explain. I almost have the basics understood.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that one dude dies now, which is okay because the
Kanan.
What's up?
Kanan. You're talking about Kanan.
Yeah, my favorite dude.
Yeah.
Are you not excited for Star Wars now?
I am very excited for Star Wars. I have loved Ahsoka.
I was way off on Ahsoka, and now I feel a little bit bad about it. But I'm okay with being wrong because now I'm excited about Star Wars again.
Yes. I'm still withholding judgment.
No, man, we're like in a really good time. And I think that Thrawn is going to be the bad guy for like the next 10 or 15 years.
For me, I think they lure you in with the first season, then just mess it all up for the second. That's why I'm watching it, but
you're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I understand because we've gotten a lot of curveballs from Star Wars in the last decade. I get it. Let's be honest. Not in the last 25 years. Let's not forget, Phantom Menace was a thing that happened to all of us.
I like the Phantom Menace. You're way off on that.
I enjoyed it though.
I still do not. I like the other two movies. I like Attack of the Clones and I like Revenge of the Sith. I love those two movies. Phantom Menace still is one of the worst Star Wars movies I've ever seen. It's not as bad as The Last Jedi, but it's not good. It's not a good movie. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm just saying, I understand being cautiously optimistic because Star Wars has thrown us curveballs, especially as of late. And so, like, sometimes you're like that abused person, you know, in an abusive relationship where you're just used to being hit all the time. So every time somebody makes a move, you flinch, you know what I mean? Because you think you're going to get hit again. Like, that's what Star Wars has done to us. That's what Disney Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy have done to Star Wars fan. They make us flinch because we just assume that anything they put out is going to be horrible because they've abused us so much. And I get the reaction. I genuinely do. However,
as a Transformers fan, I gotta say, first time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I get the reaction, but I genuinely loved Ahsoka. I had a ball watching the whole thing. I'm gonna rewatch it all again because I loved it that much. I really, really enjoyed it, and it is one of those things, much like Mandalorian did and Andor did. It gets me re-excited for Star Wars in a way that like those last series of movies never did, or anything like that. So I'm enjoying it. I mean, yeah, sure, it could completely go to shit in the next season. I have no idea. Or the next thing Star Wars puts out, which I think is that that I think the next thing that's coming out is going to be that one about the Jedi kids.
The one by Harvey Weinstein's assistant that helped get them underage women.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the one. It's his former assistant that used to help hook them up with women.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what the details are of that. I think that's the next series we're getting, which I'm assuming that's a prequel, right? Like it takes place during the which time period is it? It's not the High Republic. There's the High Republic. There's the Old Republic. And then there's just the Republic era, which the Republic era was, Clone Wars and all that. Is it Republic era or High Republic, or I don't know which era it takes place in, but obviously it's at some point. It's at some point when the Jedi are still very well known.
If you want to worry about anything if you worry about that series, because on their like whiteboard of like their keywords they want in the story, they had diversity twice.
Oh Lord!
Can you just give us a show with just Bill Burr and his
just the Bill Burr show?
Yeah.
What was his name? Damn it, I'm blanking on his name on the show. But yeah.
Yeah, Miggs Mayfield.
Miggs Mayfield. Yeah, The Adventures of Miggs Mayfield. I'm down for that.
Give me that. Yeah,
I would watch that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Especially with that little bit of backstory we got in Mandalorian Season 2, where he was an Imperial trooper, and then all that shit went bad, and so now he hates the Empire.
Right.
Like, put Bill Burr, as Bill Burr, because let's be honest, he was just playing himself.
Right.
Put him in a show where we still get that, but it's like him trying to do something good, like stop the Empire from, I don't know, doing something bad to save some people. But it's Bill Burr.
Exactly.
And plus, he's like one of the really good people too. He didn't turn him and Carl Weathers. Neither one turned on Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right in space with that Boston accent.
Yeah, Space Boston. He's from Space Boston, and I'm okay with that.
Yes,
because apparently everybody else is from Space Britain.
Well, Reva is from the Bronx or something other.
Yeah,
it's like when you watch an old German World War II movie and it has all British actors who are Nazis.
Yeah,
that always makes me laugh.
I want to see like a fucking West Virginia redneck fucking Jedi.
Oh yeah.
I'm down with that.
Why not?
That'd be hilarious.
Like Corey in space.
Oh, yeah, no shit. That finally some good representation.
They need some trophy mounts on the back of their cruisers.
Yeah,
they
got their cruiser, and then they got their lightsabers hanging up on a lightsaber rack behind their head.
Exactly. Yeah.
Different like animal racks and heads on the background.
Yeah.
And a guest appearance is Cardi B with that New York accent.
Yeah. They're rocking like a big Jedi Confederation flag on top of the ship.
Yeah.
No, it'd be a rebel orange.
Flag, and all the enemies that they've knocked down, like the droids or whatever, they have them mounted on the walls.
The mess with the people like get offended by that kind of stuff. They are the rebels.
That's true. See?
Yeah, I'm down for this. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's make it happen.
So I'm more excited than I've ever been in the past 10 years for Star Wars. I like The Mandalorian. I've got some hope now. I just believe that Dave Filoni should do everything and be the new George Lucas.
I do too, because we're never going to get George Lucas back, and nobody else that's had a hand in Star Wars has shown as much love for the franchise as Dave Filoni has.
Love and respect.
Yes.
To what the initial vision was, and
Yeah.
that's the glory of like the Peter Jackson. Like he was in charge of everything. That's
Yeah.
what I want. I don't want like three people's vision of what they think it should be. I want someone who says, "No, this is the vision of Star Wars, and this is what we're doing." That's what it needs to be.
Well, that can also backfire because Michael Bay's that kind of director. He makes some shit movies.
Sure.
I mean,
So
we don't get a lot of lens for
One thing we also got in there, and to anybody that's watched Rebels or Clone Wars, this was obviously like what we're talking about. Duke, you didn't. I'm assuming you didn't understand the significance of that white owl that Ahsoka saw. Correct?
Okay, so I had to look that up because I didn't understand the ending, and I'm like, okay, that Lord of the Rings, like dude pointing somewhere, does mean something.
Yes.
And now I still am confused to a point, but I get like.
Well, let me try and explain it to you as easily as possible. So, those giant statues carved in the side of that mountain, okay, those were the Mortis gods, and they made appearances in Clone Wars. Ahsoka and Anakin actually went to the Mortis realm, where these gods that are essentially the equivalent to Marvel's like celestials or beings that have been around since the beginning of time that represent different aspects of the Force and things. That's their realm. They've been around for a long time. They're all powerful, all this stuff. Well, shit went down when Anakin and Ahsoka were in the Mortis realm, and the son, and that's his name, the son, he's leans towards the dark side of the Force. The daughter leans towards the good side of the Force. The father, who maintains the balance. The mother, who was immortal, who went insane. She was banished to the planet millennia ago. Okay, well, when the father was dying and was brought Anakin and Ahsoka to the Mortis realm to see if Anakin really was the chosen one, because he wanted him to replace him as the one that would bring balance to the Force. He needed someone to balance between his son and his daughter. Shit obviously goes wrong and things go bad, and the Mortis gods actually end up dying. The daughter actually ends up saving Ahsoka's life because Ahsoka dies in the Mortis realm, and she gives all her life force to Ahsoka. In doing so, part of her life force basically becomes Morai, which is that owl.
The owl, okay.
Who is now kind of like Ahsoka's spirit guide.
Okay.
Okay. So they end up getting out of the Mortis realm. The three gods are dead. And the Morai kind of follows Ahsoka around as kind of like a spirit guide that she can see sometimes. So that's essentially what that owl was, is Ahsoka's spirit guide, who is a leftover from one of the Mortis gods. Now, as we were talking about when you came in the chat, the mother, who is this she went crazy. She drank from the fountain of knowledge millennia ago, went insane. She was very powerful. She was immortal, but she was extremely powerful in the Force. She went insane from drinking from the fountain in the Mortis realm, and the Mortis gods had to banish her to this planet and keep her there because she's so dangerous. One of her powers, one of the things she would do, is she would carve statues and structures into the sides of mountains using the Force. Hence the statues we saw Balin standing on at the end.
Okay, so he's not dead then. So I thought
he's not dead. Die. No, he's looking for the mother. And my guess is that's the planet she was banished to. Now, that's why she was called to go there. I forget the name of it. But she was banished there and trapped there, which she spent millennia like luring Force users there, trying to get them to help her escape. Because if she ever gets off the planet, she's like the most powerful thing the galaxy's ever seen. And she's insane. And so my guess is she was the one that was calling Balin there to try and free her. That's why he
seeks balance, right?
What?
So he seeks balance.
He seeks balance, yes. And that's why he's going there. Now, what he probably doesn't know, if it is the mother that's calling him, is she's very deceptive and insane. And he thinks he's going there to find balance to the Force. And what he's going to find is he releases the biggest villain the Star Wars universe has ever seen.
Right.
So if that is what's going on, which I believe that's what's going on, I think Filoni made it pretty obvious with the giant carved statues of the father and the son on the side of the mountain and all this stuff. I think it's pretty obvious that's what's happening here. So, but that's kind of the breakdown of what happened. Of course, we did get Night Sister zombies, which I thought was cool. I heard a bunch of people online bitching about that. To which I say, like, this stuff has been in the Star Wars universe. I mean, Star Wars has always been fantasy. If you're not open to some Force zombies by some Force-sensitive demon witches, then I don't know what to tell you. Some people are like, oh, zombies don't belong in Star Wars. I'm like, well, then you haven't read enough Star Wars. So I thought it was cool. I thought the Night Sister zombies thing, bringing the clone trooper, not the clone troopers, the stormtroopers back to life was awesome.
Yeah, same here. I kind of liked that scene.
I thought it was cool. You know, one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode, though, was Ezra building his lightsaber with Huyan.
Yeah.
What the fuck's his name? I'm blanking on his name now.
It's Hunan Muhammad.
Huyang.
It's Hunan Muhammad.
Hunan Muhammad. Dun, 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 dun.
David Tennant.
But I thought that was a cool scene, and the fact that he's building his lightsaber just like Kanan built his out of some of the same parts and stuff. I thought that was a cool scene. I loved the episode, man. I thought it was a great episode. You know, it ended the way I thought it was going to end, and then some. You know, I thought it was going to end with Thrawn getting back to the galaxy. We talked about this before. That's exactly how it ended. But Ezra gets back as well. You know, some are still stranded on this planet. Balin's still going after, who I believe is the mother, Now, obviously, to me, this means they're going to have to recast Balin, because he was still alive at the end. They're going to have to recast him. He's obviously got a part to play in I believe, helping to free the mother, So Ray Stevenson died. So
who's your choice?
I saw people fan casting online. The perfect person to play Balin was Lev Schreiber. And
what's he in?
Lev Schreiber? Here, I'll show you.
He was in X-Men. He was in
Sabretooth?
Sabretooth, yeah.
Yeah. That you could cast him and not even tell anybody.
Yeah, no, exactly.
They're even the same height.
Yeah, that dude would be awesome.
They're even the same height, similar builds.
Yeah. And I saw somebody had done some pictures online of him with gray hair and a beard, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, do it. Like, he looks exactly like Balin. He could totally fill that fucking role. And rumor has it he is now at least somewhat back in the Disney universe, because there are plenty of rumors he's going to have a cameo in the new Deadpool movie as Sabretooth. I don't know if that's true, but those are the rumors. But yeah, I say get that dude to do it, because you're gonna have to have a Balin. Balin didn't die and still plays a significant role. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Let's see. Super chat here from Definitely Not an Informant says, if she's so powerful, she would just fly through space like Leia did in Episode 8. We don't talk about that bullshit, but no, she's been trapped on the planet by the other Mortis gods. She can't escape. They use their Force wizard magic to trap her there. So, yeah, she can't just be like, peace, I'm out, and fly away like Mary fucking Poppins. But yeah, I loved it, man. I like you said, Duke. This got me excited for Star Wars. Yeah. I mean, like I got no issues here, man. I got no issue. I just had fun. I just enjoyed all 8 episodes. I loved seeing Anakin. We got him 3 times. You know, we got the full Anakin episode with episode 5. He pops back a little bit as like a training recording in episode, was it 7, I think. And then, of course, we get him at the end, kind of watching over Ahsoka, which was great. Like we got Anakin, and again, this was very much Rebels season 5. I mean, that's what this was. They called it Ahsoka, but like she was clearly not like the main character. You know what I mean? She was one of the main characters. You know, her and Sabine and Hu Yang and Thrawn and Ezra to some extent, even though they don't show up till the second half of the season. You know, like there were plenty of other characters. I mean, I would say Sabine had more screen time than Ahsoka did.
And she used force powers.
I did
not call it.
The one, well, and I will say the one complaint I've heard because I've heard a lot of little complaints about it, but the one I do agree with was that suddenly Sabine went from not being able to move a cup to being able to grab her lightsaber to being able to force push fucking Ezra over a giant chasm.
Yeah,
was a little quick. That was a little quick to go from one to the other. I will say that. That was like, okay, that seems a little unrealistic, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Based on what we've seen from Jedi in the past, that was kind of a big leap in a very short period of time. You know what I mean?
Right. And that she was willing to trust her force powers to throw Ezra over an edge of a mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
The spaceship.
I mean, if I was Ezra, I'd be like, no, you're not doing that. What? No.
Why wasn't Ezra powerful enough to just jump? We've seen Jedi jump that distance before.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly. Like, I guess it could be explained like that, you know, I mean, because he was never, I mean, he was trained, but
right, he wasn't fully
trained. He wasn't like, Jedi Knight level trained, I guess.
Just like Ahsoka, she's not really fully trained.
I mean, not really. She's far more trained than Ezra.
Far more.
But
technically,
and the difference was Ahsoka also showed an affinity for the Force from the time she was a baby. Like she's obviously much more powerful in the Force than Ezra ever was. So,
and if you go back to one of your favorite movies, there's another power that didn't use. They have super speed.
Oh yeah,
Phantom Menace.
Now I'll be honest,
and he only used it one time, right?
I don't have a problem with the super speed of that movie. Like that's kind of cool, kind of like a little force, whatever. Like the power. That's not what bugs me about the movie, right? Like that's not my issue. Like again, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, lightsaber battle ever was the end of that movie, right? And also the music for Phantom Menace, probably the greatest piece of music. I mean, Duel of the Fates, probably the greatest piece of Star Wars music ever created. The soundtrack to that movie was amazing. Now, what sucked about that movie, unfortunately, were 2 things. The whole young Anakin storyline and the politics, which unfortunately were 90% of the fucking movie. And that's why I don't like that movie. I'm sorry, space politics are not that interesting. And I thought, yeah, I know, crazy, right? And I'm sorry, the whole young Anakin thing, I don't think was done well. Now I, unlike a lot of people, don't got any hate towards that kid. I know he's not a kid anymore, right? Like a lot of people were hating on this kid. I'm like, the kid just got hired to do a job and did what he said, right? Like, no hate to the kid that played young Anakin, but the whole young Anakin storyline was just not done well.
Okay, so I agree with you 100%. I would have liked to have met Anakin as a late teen, like when we met Luke, and would have liked
it
to
should
have
have been
focused.
Hayden Christensen the entire time.
Yeah, I would have liked to have focused on a lot more darker chapters. And I mean, this would go back to like completely rewriting, but I'm saying like I could have done less with a little kid story and more with adult topics.
We should have got
war.
Yeah, in Phantom Menace, we should have got angsty teen Anakin. That's what we should have got. Essentially, the way he was in Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones, is what we should have gotten in Phantom Menace. And that would have made much more sense why they were saying he's too old to train and all this shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we could have visited a lot more dark.
The kid in the first movie looked like a toddler.
Yeah.
Not much more than a toddler. He's like, he's too old.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think it would have worked much better if we had, come along and it's like 16-year-old Anakin. And you can fudge it and have Hayden Christensen play that role because he was only 19 when he was in Attack of the Clones. So he would have just been playing like 3 years younger. Have him at like 16 years old, and I think the story would have worked much better. Even the pod racing scene would have made more sense. Like everything that happened in that movie would have made more sense with an older Anakin.
Yep.
But yeah, no, there are definitely some good aspects to that movie. There are some awesome things in that movie, but overall, the movie, for me, doesn't work.
It would have made much more sense if we had an older Anakin in that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know where we at. I have no idea, but yeah. So I'm pumped for Star Wars again, which is awesome.
I think we left off somehow Sabine is now strong enough to push Ezra on over.
We just talked about it.
Yeah, which again was like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, I get it. That's really the only criticism I've heard of the episode that I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Everybody else I've heard criticizing it were like, oh, it was just boring. And I'm like, no, you just want to be pissed off. That's all.
Yeah.
But
look how long it took like Luke to learn how to like move anything, and
yeah,
she's like, as soon as she like moved one thing, it's like, oh, I can move anything
I
now.
can totally push you across this giant chasm.
And we have to remember.
But did she really push him, or did she just help Ezra use his force power to jump across there?
Yeah, she gave him a boost, basically.
Like they would have.
Because that's what I saw. It's like she was just helping him, not that she was actually doing it.
Yeah, but still, for her to trust her powers when she just learned it 2 hours ago, to help him off of a cliff.
We have to remember that the reason why Luke did little shit in the movies was because of like ability to do that shit. If George Lucas could have had Luke Skywalker jumping around doing like crazy stuff, he would have had him doing it. So, because if you go to like the books, Luke's doing wild shit like all the time, even in like in between movies, like Shadows of the Empire. Luke's like jumping over chasms. So
Shadows of the Empire, one of the greatest Star Wars books ever. I urge everybody to read those books. That book, Shadows of the Empire, fucking phenomenal. And one that technically I think we can still consider canon. I think because we've not touched upon the time between Empire and Jedi, whereas we have everything after Jedi, so those books cannot be considered canon per se. Still great reads and highly recommend you go read them. But Shadows of the Empire, nothing has come along under Disney Star Wars that refutes that story that took place between those two movies.
It would be so cool if we got a couple seasons that did Shadows of the Empire.
Oh yeah, it'd be awesome, dude. I would love that. That'd be freaking great. With Dash Rendar and everything, and what's his name? Zizor?
Prince Caesar?
Zizor?
I go back and forth.
I don't know. However you say his name.
Okay.
That dude.
We should do a cast of that. We should do like a who's who we would cast in that. That would be a fun panel.
So Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker, because he looks just like fucking young Mark Hamill.
Yes, agreed.
Now, normally I would say, but we have to have somebody that can look appropriate next to Luke. No, I would say, what's her face? The chick from Stranger Things is Leia, but she's just too young to stand next to Sebastian Stan and pull off. That's his twin sister.
Yeah,
because she does look like a young. She looks like a young Carrie. So,
wait, which one?
The main chick, 7.
Millie Bobby Brown.
11, whatever the fuck her name is.
What's the name?
11
like Billy
from
Jean,
Stranger
some
Things.
shit like that.
11. Yes.
Yeah, her name is Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I know. It was some shit like that. All right. So I said Billie Jean. Like some shit. Right, I don't know. Some shit
Billie
like that.
Jean King.
Yeah, some shit.
There's an actor out there who's actually played a young Harrison Ford who looks just like a young Harrison Ford.
Is that the dude from that? What's that movie where he played a young Harrison Ford, like Adelaide or some shit like that?
Yeah, Adeline.
It could be.
Yeah, it's Adeline. Yeah. I think
Why
that
they
was him.
didn't? Why they? Oh, I know why they didn't cast him in the Solo movie, but it's just stupid they didn't. Because the only reason they didn't is because the guy they cast to be Solo, he's friends with Spielberg, and Spielberg insisted on using him.
You know what? I enjoyed Solo.
I don't.
Was it the greatest? No. Yeah.
It is not great, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Mika,
I thought there was so much to do there. It was so sad we only got one of them.
I still don't understand why he would have trains in space flight.
I didn't really like how he got his name Solo. It was just
that was dumb as shit.
That's the Star Wars equivalent to, why did you say that name? Why did you say Martha?
And making him sentimental over like a pistol too. It's like that's not his character.
Yeah.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
That's a John Crichton thing, not a Solo thing about being sentimental over a pistol.
Yeah.
John Crichton's Winona is like that's a thing.
Yeah. Well,
okay. So
if we're casting like that role, so I mean, for Dash Rendar, you can really cast anybody because he doesn't need to. You know what I mean? You just cast kind of a pirate rogue type character. You know, so you can really just anybody that would do a decent job of that and can come across roughly somewhere between the ages of where Luke and Leia are supposed to be and Han Solo is supposed to be. Because I always got the feeling he was probably a little younger than Han, but definitely older than Leia.
Yep.
So maybe, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s, somewhere around there. You just cast a young, roguish, good-looking pirate type. You know.
Yeah.
Jolly.
For Prince Zizer or Zeezer or Incisor or whatever the fuck his name is.
And don't make him who wants to bang robots.
You got to have somebody that also, he can't be older. Like you need to get somebody who's in their 30s, maybe early 40s at the most. Because remember, he's obsessed with Leia.
Yep.
And thinks he can win her over. But you need to get somebody, honestly, you know who I think would make a great Prince Iser and is already in the Disney family is Tom Hiddleston, fucking Loki.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Ain't that dude green?
Yeah.
That would. Man, that would.
I mean, I think he'd make a great Prince Iser. The dude's like 6'1", 6'2". You know what I mean? You can fucking slather him up with all the alien makeup and shit. He's got that great British accent, you know. He can play sinister really well, yet sinister but likable, you know.
Yeah, too bad he's short.
Yeah, you fucking Sasquatch for you.
Yeah, but look at Tom Cruise.
He's 6'2".
6'2". There you go. Although when he's standing next to Chris Hemsworth, he doesn't look very tall.
Actually, Chris Hemsworth's only like an inch taller than him, I think.
Yeah.
They do the way they shoot it to make him look bigger.
Yeah, just give him a box to stand on, like, you
know. Like Napoleon.
just like Tom Cruise, you know.
Oh, yeah. That dude's short as fuck.
Okay.
John out there in the chat just says Duke just wet himself because of the way you reacted to Loki playing Zizer.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would work. I mean, that's your main characters right there.
Yeah, Hemsworth is only an inch taller, but just the way they shoot it to make him look bigger.
Well, I think that work. We need to lobby for a Shadows of the Empire movie or series or something. I don't care.
Well, I don't even want movies anymore.
That's what I was just about to say. That like the series have been doing a much better job than the Star Wars movies have. I mean, the last good Star Wars movies was Rogue One, and that was a one-off.
And
well, I don't even.
And it would have even been better if they didn't get studio to interfere.
Yeah,
I don't want movies because you can't even tell good stories anymore. Because think about if you did Lord of the Rings, as well as the movies are, how much cooler could it have been if you did
a series?
Each movie got 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I mean, technically, the Return of the King was 10 hours.
It was, yes.
But, oh yeah, no, it'd be freaking awesome. I mean, I like the 8 to 10 episode layout as long as it's, the story is adequate. Like certainly with Lord of the Rings, holy shit, you could easily fill out 10 hours per movie with the stuff that you're pulling from those books. I mean, there's no question about it. There's definitely 10 hours worth of content there, hands down, but then you get something like Obi-Wan, where there was clearly 2 hours worth of content they stretched out to 6 hours.
Yeah.
In addition to other issues that show had, where it's like, okay, no, this should have been a movie, because that's all the content you had. You had 2 hours worth of shit.
But yeah, that's just having poor content, because when you have a show like, you compare that to Game of Thrones, the Dragon show that we've got in the last season was amazing.
Yeah,
a bunch of character development, a good bunch of good story that was laid out really well. That was, I mean, arguably that stuff is better than the original Game of Thrones.
And the thing is,
I think they're about even for me personally.
You know what? And just watching the kids alone, it was better than anything on TV.
Right?
Yeah. Just the kids themselves.
And like for Star Wars, if you're pulling from books, the content is there. You could do 10 episodes with Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah,
easily.
Exactly.
There's 10 hours worth of content in that book.
Yeah.
So, and especially if you go and pull, because there was multiple, I mean, it wasn't just books, it was books and comics, and then there was the video game, which had some decent content in it, but like there's plenty of content to pull from. And even if you tweak it, you know what I mean, to fit more in with whatever, Dave Filoni's doing with the Star Wars universe or whatever, I don't care. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a one-to-one fucking retelling of the Shadows of the Empire book,
Yeah, exactly.
But like that would be an amazing fucking story to do. So,
well, people would want to see it because our age played the game and read the comics and was into Star Wars at that time, and I think it would be super popular.
Yeah, no, I agree. That would be awesome. It is one of the best Star Wars books that that had come out. Because I mean, and let's be honest, for those of us that read the books, I mean, the '90s era of Star Wars books that came out was fucking amazing. Like the stories we were getting in those books, whether it was just the standalone books like Truce at Bakura and some of those. There was the Young Jedi Academy trilogy, which was fucking amazing. There was the X-Wing Rogue Squadron fucking series that I think went to like 9 books. Those were fucking awesome. I loved in the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series when they got all the uglies to go undercover, where they had all the like mismatched fucking what they would call back in Star Wars TIE uglies, where they weren't using X-Wings anymore. They were Rogue Squadron got like a full fleet of like fucking all these mismatched fucking mixes of like TIE fighters and all this shit that they were like all custom built fucking hot rod starfighters and shit. Like
X-Wings with TIE wings.
Yeah. There was a lot of cool shit. That was overall, I think the Rogue Squadron series was my favorite of all the Star Wars series. Because it was really cool, because while there were times where a Luke or a Leia or a Han would show up in those books, they were not the main characters of those books. This was about Wedge and his crew and the shit they were doing. And they were doing shit like out in the Outer Rim and all kinds of stuff. Very cool series of books. But that 90s era of, I'd say everything from like Truce at Bakura, which I think was the first book to take place immediately after Return of the Jedi, all the way up until you get to the Yuzong Vong series, which I only ever read the first book of the Yuzong Vong series, and it was okay. Like, it wasn't bad. It was just very, I don't know. And I don't know if it was the writing. I don't remember who wrote it. It was just very different from anything else I had read. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It almost didn't quite feel like Star Wars as much anymore. It felt like some other sci-fi franchise.
It felt like they jumped the shark, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I get it. You need to do something else, because how many times can you fight remnants of the Empire and shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Disney's done a pretty good job at it.
Yeah. But the Yuzong Vong thing, like, I read the first book, and then I never read any more than that, because it just didn't interest me that much. But that like 10 to 12 year period of time between like Truce at Bakura and when the Yuzong Vong series popped off was just fucking phenomenal. Some of the best Star Wars stories, sci-fi stories, period, that I've ever read. It's great stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Okay, we got to move on. Because I got more stuff to talk about here. I want to talk about Loki season 2, episode 1 dropped this week. So we got the first episode of the new Loki season. First episode was good, but felt really short.
Yeah.
It was good though. I mean, I liked it. I liked the direction they're going in. Loki's being pulled through time, different points and things like that, and we're figuring more stuff out. A lot of cool characters being introduced, including Short Round was in it. He was fucking hilarious. Short Round was great in the episode. Like, just the stuff he kept saying. Like, I loved the back and forth between Short Round and or Obi. I guess they call him Obi on the show, but it's Short Round, same actor.
Ouroboros.
Between Obi and what's his face's character? What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name?
Mobius.
Yeah, Mobius.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the interaction between the two of them where he kept talking about, oh, it'll peel your skin off. And he's like, can we stop saying that? Because that's just, like, it was funny. The show was funny. There was it was a good episode. It just, I wanted more. I was really hoping they would have released like at least a couple episodes like they did. You know, like with Ahsoka, they would drop the first 2 episodes the first week.
It was.
Wait. You said that Morbius was in it?
The what?
Wait, you said that Morbius was in it?
Mobius.
Yeah, Mobius is in it.
Yeah,
Mobius.
Yeah. Not Morbius, Mobius.
Mobius. Okay.
Agent Mobius.
Okay.
Of the time of the TVC. The time.
Okay.
Yeah.
TVA.
Right, because
the guy
I'm
from
going
the
to watch
first
it
season.
again. Okay. I'm going to have to watch it again for a second time, because I had got 3 minutes into it. Then I just felt like not watching it.
Okay. No, it was good. It was really good. It's just, again, at 42 minutes or whatever it is, like 7 of those minutes being the credits at the end, like, it just didn't feel like a lot.
Oh, did you watch the mid-credit scene?
I did, where Sylvie's in Oklahoma, which of course is a throwback to the comics for anybody that read the comics. So Sylvie shows up in Oklahoma right there at the end at a McDonald's in like, was it 1984? I think it said 1984 McDonald's. 82 in Oklahoma, which was cool. Yeah, I just really, my only complaint is I wish we would have gotten at least 2 episodes at once, because I felt like I just didn't get enough content right out the bat. And all we were dealing with in the first episode really was trying to get Loki fixed to one particular time period. It was like one, you know what I mean? Like, that was the only thing they were dealing with. We didn't deal with the larger issues that we know is going on with Kang, or any of the larger issues really. That's going on with the timeline starting to branch out. You know, it was, the whole episode was about trying to get Loki locked back in time so then they can start dealing with the other bigger issues.
Well, it's that and catching up the rest of the characters, what happened in like
catching up the rest of the characters with the end, and I get it, and I just wanted more. That's all it was. That's my only complaint. The episode was great. I just wanted more. You know,
Matt,
So-
are you getting tired of Marvel?
No, I'm not getting tired of Marvel. I mean, they aren't putting out as much good stuff as they used to, but for me, it's like the comics, right? Like I'm a comic fan, and growing up reading comics, there were always periods of time where even Spider-Man or Superman or Captain America had a shitty fucking run of 12 to 15 comics in a row where it just kind of wasn't very good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I'm not shitting on your thing. I'm just asking you because I've heard that they're going to pull way back on the content.
And I hope they do, just because of the fact that I hope they are able to then put out more quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So I hope they do. I hope they do, because
But then they say they were wanting to do that. Then he's like, "Oh, we greenlit She-Hulk season 2."
Well, I don't know why the fuck they did that shit, but
She-Hulk wasn't that good at all.
I don't mind them pulling back and focusing more like they did originally on maybe 2, maybe at most 3 projects per year, and that includes whatever's on Disney Plus. So if that's 1 series and 2 movies, or however they want to break it down, I'm okay with that. I don't need a constant stream of Marvel shit all the time, because their quality has gone down significantly in the last 4 years or so since Endgame. Well, there's still been stuff I love. I mean, I fucking love Shang-Chi. I fucking loved Spider-Man No Way Home. There's been some. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
There's been some really, really good stuff. I loved Moon Knight. I love the Hawkeye series. There's still been a lot that I have just loved, but there's also been a lot higher percentage than normal of shit that I don't love. You know what I mean? Like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Miss Marvel, right? Like, and I get Miss Marvel, by the way. I watched the whole thing.
As much as I didn't like She-Hulk, I think I disliked Falcon and Winter Soldier more. Other than like the U.S. Agent was a good piece.
I think if I got to compare the two, I still like Falcon and Winter Soldier a little more than She-Hulk.
The fact what I don't hate about those is the fact they were pushing. You needed to sympathize with the villains. Like they were straight up she was a straight up terrorist. Nothing to sympathize with. And they're like, oh, but she's misunderstood. She lost all her free stuff because everybody came back to life.
Yeah, for me, I look at it as like I weigh it. So like, there was bad in both series, but there was literally only one good thing in all of She-Hulk, and that was Madison and Wongers.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the only good thing in all of She-Hulk.
It was a saving grace of it.
And whereas I can at least objectively look at Falcon and Winter Soldier and U.S. Agent was great. I thought they did a great job with U.S. Agent. I also loved all the parts of Falcon and Winter Soldier where it was just the two of them, like at Sam's house with his family. I thought those moments were really done well. The back and forth and the camaraderie and how Sam's sister kept hitting on Bucky and shit. You know what I mean? Like that was genuinely like really good.
Yeah, when it's just them two, it's great.
Yeah. However, like there was nothing having to do with She-Hulk that was any good other than Madison and Wong. That was it. It was the only good thing in all 8-10 episodes, whatever the fuck it was. It was the only good thing in that show, and it had nothing to do with the main story or the main character.
Oh,
Madison Wong was awesome though.
Right. And plus the
Madison
bad guy
Wong, that should have been the show. Madison and Wong should have been. That needs its own damn show.
Don't greenlight She-Hulk season 2. Give us Madison Wong's spin-off series.
Fuck yes, that was great.
Oh, shoot! Plus, what's the one guy that was the villain in Civil War?
Zemo.
Yes, Zemo. Right. He was great.
And see, that's another good thing about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Zemo was actually much better than he ever was in Civil War. Like his attitude and him actually having the comic costume and all that shit. So there was even though I'm not a big fan of the show, there was just still more good stuff from Falcon and Winter Soldier than there was in She-Hulk. So, but yeah, I'm fine with them scaling back, and I still enjoy Marvel movies and TV shows. I don't enjoy them all, but the ones I don't enjoy, I just can be like, it sucked, and move on to the stuff that I do enjoy. You know what I mean? I don't, because they are, again, you can't say that Marvel sucks now when they put out fucking Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That movie was fucking great.
Open the fucking door.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say that, yeah, that car.
You got to use the only F-bomb in the MCU.
Yeah. And like, so I mean, I don't think the MCU is dead. I think the quality percentage has gone down, but there's still, again, when you still getting Shang-Chi, when you're still getting, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you're still getting Spider-Man No Way Home,
and
like those are fantastic movies.
And Guardians 3 gave us something we've been needing for a while in the MCU. A villain who's just a freaking villain.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing like misunderstanding. He's just a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. And so
I don't think him to die.
Exactly. And so I don't think that Marvel is dead. I think they have, what's the word I'm looking for? They've become diluted to where not all of their projects are good anymore. And that's why they need to scale back and focus on just making less good shit instead of more not as good shit, and sometimes shit that outright sucks. And another thing I'll defend, because I hear a lot of people in our waters that we swim in here, our geek waters, a lot of people trash Miss Marvel. Now, I don't think Miss Marvel was a bad show. I think it was actually a good show. However, it was not a show made for adult men. It was made for teenage girls. It was a very good show if you are a 12 to 16-year-old girl. It was well done. I thought all the characters were done well, but it was essentially just a Disney Channel show, a Marvel Disney Channel show, which is fine for its demographic, right? Mm-hmm. But it was not made for somebody like me or any of us in here, right? So
when you saw the trailers and stuff or for it looks like a kid's show.
Exactly, and that's what it was.
And adults getting mad over that is ridiculous. Because
that's what I don't get. I don't get why you'd be mad. Like, look, it was made to get kids excited. The same kids who watch Disney Channel. It was made to give them something in the MCU. Which, let's be honest, that's what Miss Marvel is in the comics too.
Yeah,
right. And they said beforehand too, it was going to be more geared towards kids before it even came out.
It's a kids show primarily aimed at younger girls. And for what it was fine. I watched the whole thing, and it was like watching a kid show. You know what I mean? Like I used to watch Good Luck Charlie with my daughter, right? Which was a Disney Channel show. It's a good Disney Channel show.
The same lines as like iCarly and all that stuff.
Exactly. That's what Miss Marvel was. And so I think a lot of like people were getting upset at a show because like, oh, it sucks. Well, because it wasn't made for any of us. Like that's not why this show was fucking made. Like, that's like getting mad at iCarly. It's like, okay, iCarly, we would all say it probably is not a good show because it's not made for us. Right?
No, I actually like the iCarly, though.
Yeah, my niece was obsessed with that show.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was okay, but it wasn't geared towards adults at all.
Mm-hmm.
But my niece loved it.
That's So Raven. I actually enjoyed That's So Raven.
Do you fucks with That's So Raven?
Yes.
Have you seen that dude from that show though? Her co-host dude?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's ripped now, isn't he?
No, he has like mental problems now.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he did like too much meth.
Oh shit. Damn.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Like plus he made a sex tape. He's been in and out of jail.
The dude from iCarly?
No, from That's So Raven.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The one that was the boy in the show that was like one of Raven's best friends.
Yeah.
Now The one girl from the one girl from iCarly, the blonde girl, she had a lot of issues with Disney and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
she wrote a book.
Jenny
She wrote a book about
her mom.
how Disney and her mother fucked her over.
Right.
yeah,
I think the book's called "I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead," something like that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Now I know she did a TV series. It was like In Between or something like that, where like everyone over like 18 or 19 years old just died.
Yeah, it was Cat and her name in the show, some shit like that. Cat and whatever.
Cat and
all right, we're gonna have to get all this
Cat and
Disney
Sam.
bullshit. I can't take this. I can only take talking about Disney Channel shit for so long. All right, couple quick hits here, real quick, before we get into some other stuff. I watched a movie called 57 Seconds.
I watched it too.
Kind of a time travel movie. It is a time travel movie about a dude who gets a ring that lets him go back 57 seconds at a time. I won't spoil it beyond that. It was not a great movie, but it was an entertaining movie, right? Like, this isn't something you need to like, oh my God, I got to mark off my calendars to go see this movie. It was fine. It was a fun little movie. It's not great. Don't get your hopes up, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
Remember the opening scene where it shows Josh Hutcherson and I'm blanking on the actor's name, the black guy, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman? You forgot Morgan Freeman's name?
But when they were in the plane, do you remember that?
Yes.
That, to me, it made it seem like it was like a B-rated budget cut movie because it was so horribly graphic.
It was oddly edited. That opening scene was weirdly edited, like the opening couple of minutes. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I liked it. I'm not telling you have to like it. It was okay, but, take it for what it is. All right, another movie I watched this week was Haunted Mansion, the Disney movie.
Oh, yeah, with
well, now you
Anthony
talk about
Mackie.
Disney again.
So, yeah, here we are talking about Disney. This is definitely a movie, I would say, geared more towards kids. That being said, it was pretty fun. It was a fun movie. Like, I heard this movie was horrible and was awful. And so I went into it thinking, okay, I'm going to put it on. I put it on before bed. It was like have something to watch. It was not that bad. It was a fun movie, but it's definitely geared towards kids. It's like something like if you got kids, watch it with your kids. They'll probably like it.
What movie are we talking about?
Haunted Mansion.
Was it better than the Eddie Murphy version?
I've never seen the Eddie Murphy version.
Okay.
I like the Eddie Murphy version better.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one, but the original one, I liked it.
Again, this is a movie geared towards kids.
Oh yeah,
it was fine. It wasn't the piece of crap that I heard everybody say it was.
It wasn't horrible. It was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah. It just is what it is. It's a kids movie.
Yeah, the storyline could have been polished up a little bit, but other than that, it was enjoyable.
It's the equivalent of one of these Goosebumps movies that we've gotten over the last 10 years. Like, that's what it is.
The only time I guess the Haunted Mansion thing, the only time we ever went to Disney when I was a kid, we got stuck in the Haunted Mansion ride because it stopped right in the middle, like all the singing, talking ghost heads, like all the sound was off, but all the holograms were on, so it's like
that's all the ghosts.
At first when you said Haunted Mansion, I was thinking of that ghost movie with Anthony Mackie. I can't remember.
Oh no, that was actually a really good movie. I like that one a lot.
The ghost movie with Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, it came out on Netflix here. I don't know 3 months ago, give or take.
Yeah,
it's called We Have a Ghost.
Yeah, We Have a Ghost. That was actually a good. I liked that movie a lot.
I did too.
Yeah, that was a good movie. So anyway, Haunted Mansion is okay. It's fine. Then I also watched Equalizer 3. I finally saw that. And what I had heard, the way I had heard it described before was, it's the law of diminishing returns. Each movie is not as good as the last. And I have to agree. It was still good. It was still a good movie, but it wasn't as good as the second one, which wasn't as good as the first one. So I liked it. It was a good movie. But when you're comparing it to the other movies in the series, it's not as good as the other two.
The first one hands down.
The first one hands down. Yeah. Now I will say what was kind of cool is this had one of the main characters in it. The other main character in it, besides Denzel Washington, was Dakota Fanning, which of course she was the girl. She's the girl from Man on Fire. Which
I thought you were talking about the TV series with Queen Latifah. I thought
no, I would never watch that crap.
I could have sworn you had a T-shirt that had her face on it and said, "I love the Equalizer."
No, not at all.
I just hated how a lot of it was in another language and you had to read subtitles and shit. I don't care for subtitle movies.
Yeah, that was Be prepared to do a lot of reading. I would say 80% of the movie is in Italian.
Yep.
So
Hollywood needs to understand we are fine. We'll let them speak a few words in Italian, then put an asterisk, translate it in English, and let them speak English.
Yes. Yeah, like they did with what was that movie? I love that movie, Valkyrie, with Tom Cruise. I know some people hate that movie. I like that movie a lot, but that's what they did in that. Is they start off speaking German, and then it just kind of all of a sudden it's English, and we get it. We know what you're doing. It's fine. Now let's watch the movie.
Everybody is fine with that. Quit trying to be artsy. And it's like, oh, we got to make sure it's
all fine.
And we did the same thing with the Russian parts of Hunt for Red October.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would never work. That would never work nowadays because now you have to cast Russian or Asian or whatever actor ethnicity in those roles, or else you're going to get canceled.
Acting apparently is no longer acting. You can't be an actor anymore.
Rupert Everett, he's an English actor. He actually was in an interview not too long ago and said, and he was asked that question about you have to be a certain ethnicity to play a part. He's like, no. He goes, that's what acting is. You are playing the part of something that you are not. That's the essence of acting. And I agree with that,
And he's been very vocal about that. Rupert Everett's been very vocal about that for years when this first started happening.
And he's
because he's gay and he's played a lot of straight roles. And that's what I remember seeing an interview with him from years ago where that came up and somebody asked him, well, what do you think of straight people playing gay roles? And he was like,
he doesn't have a problem with it.
He's like, I played nothing but straight roles for my first 15 years acting. That's what I did. But he's like, it's called acting. Like, it's fine. He's like,
one of the best
straight people play gay roles.
These idiots even got mad at Dwayne Johnson, that Skyscraper movie where he played somebody with a amputee leg.
Oh yeah.
He's got two legs. You shouldn't be playing that character.
Oh God.
One of the best actors, in my opinion, hands down, that can play really any role, any SD or whatever, is oh fuck, I just had his name.
Will Smith.
No, Gary Oldman.
Yep.
That is, and I've said this before, Gary Oldman is the greatest actor in my lifetime.
I'd say hands down he is.
Gary Oldman could play a sassy black woman from the South and nobody would fucking notice.
You're right.
That's how good of an actor that dude is. I'm telling you.
He's played some amazing roles. And I don't think he's getting enough recognition for it.
Gary Oldman is that dude who is so good you forget it's him in the movie. And when you're remembering a movie, you don't remember he's in the movie. All you remember is the character he's playing.
He just recently played Churchill a few years back.
Yeah.
Yep, and he did damn good in that too.
Don't forget about Robert Downey Jr. playing the dude. Pretending to be another dude in a movie. Pretending to be a dude.
Playing the dude playing the other dude.
Hey, does someone have their TV on? There's something going back.
Yeah, back when I was loud.
Yeah.
You're the only 10
But anyway, yes, Gary Oldman, fantastic actor.
Underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know. I don't know if he's necessarily underrated. I know a lot of people.
Let's flip the script really quick. The new Willy Wonka movie. What do you think about Timothy Chalamet or Charlemagne or Charlatan or whatever the hell his last name is pronounced? What do you think of him playing Willy Wonka?
I don't know, just because I don't know enough. I know there were books about Willy Wonka that I've never read, so I have no concept of who Willy Wonka is supposed to be, other than the original movie. Like that's my only. I've never even watched the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I never watched that movie.
It was fucking horrible.
Yeah, well, I've heard that, but I've never watched it. I've never wanted to watch it because
Gene Wilder one is so much better.
The original is fucking an amazing movie.
You know, Gene Wilder had that the way he was acting, like he was telling the kids, "Hey, don't do it," but he's like, "No, don't stop, just don't do it." Like he knew those kids were gonna shit the stick, so to speak. But he's like, "Yeah," sarcastically, "Yo, no, don't do that." Don't. And then boop, they're off. You know, another one off the island, so to speak.
Yeah. So for the new one that's coming out,
how
like, I don't
in
feel like I got enough in the trailer to know how he's gonna play the role. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, he might do a good job. I think the dude's a good actor. I've seen him in several things. I think he's a good actor. I don't know that, you know, he's not to the same level as, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I thought it was a good trailer, but I have no concept of what Willy Wonka is supposed to be at that time. You know what I mean? Or what his character is supposed to be.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was just too much of a Tim Burton movie. It wasn't Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It was.
And that's my problem with Tim Burton. His movies, he got success early on in the 80s, and when he steps out of his lane, he does not curtail his directing style or his storytelling style to reflect the material. He's very good when the material already fits his style, like a Beetlejuice or an Edward Scissorhands or things like that, right? When the material fits the style, it works great. However, when he does something that the material doesn't fit, he just does it in his style anyway, and it doesn't work. He does not. He is a very, very one-note director. He's a one-note director. He knows how to do his one thing really, really well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes.
Somebody's got bad sound, and it's ruining everything. I got to help you out, Matt.
Yeah, mute everybody. Let's figure out who
someone's
it is.
background noise is real loud too. Y'all know how in the movie they have that river of chocolate or whatever that they ride the boat through and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of actors and staff got sick because of that, because they really did it was actually chocolate water and everything.
Actually, I'm sorry, there was an interview with the original kids and one of the main Oompa Loompas. They said the water was not chocolate. They said it was very nasty, though, but it was not chocolate. And that was
I did hear, though, that they got sick, though, from it.
Well, that may be, but the water was not chocolate. Although the kids wanted it to be chocolate, but no. But the original, 5 or 6 kids and the main Oompa Loompa, they've been doing a lot of conventions lately, and they've said nothing but nice things about Wilder and the crew and everybody. They were treated really nice, but yeah, the water was kind of gross.
Yeah, Gene Wilder was a great actor.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately, a lot of these great actors, they're not going to live forever. So I always tell people, hey, if they're at a convention and you've never met them and you like what they do, go see them. Go see them. And I mean, even if you just see them and say, hey, you know what? Thank you for making my childhood better. You know what? That goes a long way. It goes a long, long way with those people. I met the original.
Sure it does, yeah. I agree.
Met the original Noelle Neal, who played Lois Lane back in the old George Reeves days. This woman, so nice. She got recast as the old lady that left everything to Lex Luthor in the Superman Returns film, the one that died, and he grabbed her hand and sketched her name. Well, she got a nice little revival of Lois Lane at the conventions. I got to meet her in San Diego one year. That lady would not let go of your hand. She was so happy to be in the spotlight for another 15 minutes of fame. She's such a sweet lady, such a sweet lady. So I always tell people, go meet these people. I got to meet Margot Kidder before she passed away. What a nice lady. Oh, my God. Yeah. Sarah Douglas, she's still with us, but that lady, super nice. She played the evil Kryptonian girl in Superman and second Superman film. Again, very nice, very generous with their time. Peter Mayhew, again, such a nice man. Oh my God, really, really nice man. So
That's the first time I've heard that. I've always heard "Never Meet Your Heroes."
no,
No, most of them are good. There's some that are bad, like the guy that played Jamie in Game of Thrones. I've heard he's kind of a dick in real life, and every time people meet him, he's like, no photos, no videos, no nothing. And
I mean, there are a few people out there. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part, a large majority of the people I've met have always been really nice.
I wish I would have got a chance to meet Tim Curry.
I had an office on the 20th floor of the NBC Universal building in Universal City. I worked as a tour supervisor for a record label. My next door neighbor, you guys might know who she is, Penny Marshall, who played Laverne and Laverne and Shirley.
Yep.
She's also a director. God rest her soul. She's no longer with us. That lady, I only ran into her twice because she was hardly ever in the damn office. Such a sweet, sweet lady. Very, very nice. So again, what's his name? Oh my God, I'm totally forgetting his name. He played.
Honda, you're very, very quiet. I can barely hear you trying to talk.
Who, me?
No, Honda.
Yeah, I think it's Honda's background.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me.
I don't know. I'm hearing like a TV in the background or music or something.
That is not me.
Matt, can you mute each one individually to see who it is?
It might be Duke. I don't know.
It's not me. I have nothing playing. I promise.
Is that better?
It's not me.
I have
It's like Harold Dixon. It's not me.
But it's not.
I'm doing this thing when other people are making noise where it just makes me quiet as fuck, and I don't know why.
Honda, but your mic is real low though.
Your mic's
It
low.
is
Let me check your mic.
Everything is maxed as max as it will max. There's no more max to max. Okay, I lied. Now it's maxed.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
now we can hear you.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Jesus Christ, fuck me.
I thought I heard you say something earlier, but I wasn't sure. It's like,
Hey, so who's you guys' like number one pick that'll be like the most underrated actor to you guys?
Underrated.
Actor or actress? Yeah.
I don't know, but I did want to say about Laverne and Shirley. I used to watch that with my mom.
I love that show.
When I
Yeah,
was a
same
little
here.
kid,
Yeah,
on
it was
Nick
a
at
great
Night,
show.
the old
It was a great
reruns.
spinoff from Happy Days. I mean,
Yep.
even Mork and Mindy got a spinoff out of there because Robin Williams
Shamil,
starred as
Shamil.
Mork on there twice, and then his show got a spinoff out of Happy Days. So
I even liked that show when they jumped the shark and moved to Hollywood. It was still good.
Charles in Charge was pretty good too.
he was the epitome of cool.
Have you ever had a
I even watched
Pepsi
the
with
cartoon, the Fonz cartoon.
I have that. Fonzie and the Happy Days Gang. I have that on DVD. I love that damn cartoon. They got all the actors and did their voices, which was awesome.
Okay, underrated.
Underrated. I am just going to default to one of my favorite actors of all time, Bruce Campbell.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I will agree with that.
He is such an entertaining person to watch, even in a horrible, like D-list movie.
He takes
He
it
is so entertaining.
and makes it his own. I swear to God. Everything
Yeah.
I like.
I enjoyed him in Burn Notice.
Okay, I had to look him
Very
up.
good in Burn
Yeah,
Notice. Yes.
good pick. I had to look him up.
Bubba Hotep. If you've never
The
seen
Evil
Bubba
Dead.
Hotep is freaking
You gotta watch it.
amazing.
I like him
Bubba
in Evil
Hotep
Dead.
is so good, where it's him and Black JFK hunting down a mummy.
Look, him, Elvis is just like perfect casting. And it took a spin on, how everybody's like, oh, Elvis is still alive. That whole spin on that, I loved it. Him being the real Elvis. Jesus, it was awesome.
And I forget what was it. It was the because JFK was like, oh, they put my brain in this old
replaced my
spot.
brain with a
CIA,
And
the CIA replaced my brain and put
Yep.
me in this old black man's body.
yep.
Well, what's funny is the
Dude, it's such a
CIA
good movie.
actually
That's I
literally
love Bruce
they
Campbell.
lost his brain, dude. They actually literally lost his brain after he got shot in the head.
That's true. And they implanted it into a black man, who then ends up in an old folks' home with Elvis. And then they hunt a mummy together. It's a phenomenal movie. If you've ever seen this movie, it's fucking great.
You need to watch it. If you like Bruce Campbell, you definitely
in the movie.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've
I
seen
want to
it.
move to
I
the
like the
universe
one he
where
was,
Bruce Campbell was an A-list actor and had all kinds of movies.
So I would say the most underrated actor. This is not as popular as it was because now he's getting some love, but it's Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Brendan Fraser until he got hurt.
Yeah,
Yes, he was doing very, very well. Yeah,
He got hurt by his ex-wife who ripped his heart out of his
the
asshole.
Oscar, well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, what was in that name of the movie he got the Oscar for recently?
Whale.
The Whale.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
You have
Which is a really good movie.
It was really good.
It's a hard movie to watch, but it's a really good movie.
But you know what? It'll get you. It'll get you choked up right in here, man. You're gonna. You can't help but feel for him through the whole film. It's just, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
I say for me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I say for me. Well, now he's just been getting his flowers after Breaking Bad, but Exposito, what's his name? Giancarlo
Esposito.
Yeah.
Esposito?
Yeah, like everything I've seen him in, he's been nailing it. But now he just getting his flowers after.
He is my personal pick for Charles Xavier in the X-Men.
Oh yeah,
I think he would do well in that role.
I'm not even shitting you. I made a custom Giancarlo Esposito. Fucking.
That's awesome.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I think he was the most underrated to me. For a while.
For me, I think Ben Affleck is. People sleep on him.
He's a good actor.
Like he is super underrated. Like I remember that what was it called? 1998 Phantoms.
Phantoms is the bomb, yo.
Yeah. 1998 Phantoms. The Town, Argo.
That's a quote from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You don't know that?
I forgot about that.
They go in and like.
If you have to ask me who an underrated actor or actress is, I'm going to say Halle Berry.
No.
when she played Storm and she said that line about the frog, man, she had me.
You just wanted to fuck. That's all.
Right.
No, she's actually the worst actress in my opinion that exists. Like the worst that's ever existed. Halle Berry.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's
been in a lot of good
She's
things
horrible
that I
to look
like.
at, too. I mean, I couldn't stand to look at Halle Berry. I mean, poor me. I'd go blind.
That's why she's in the movies. It's not because she can act. It's because she's got like attributes.
She's a good actress. She's a good actress.
One for me, and I think it's kind of.
I mean, I think they did her dirty with Catwoman, though. Ugh.
I think she was good in New Jack City.
Good in?
New Jack City and Boomerang.
She's never been good in anything.
Yo, she was
good in the call.
She's
The
been.
Flintstones,
She was
baby.
No, she
Like
was good in New
Gothica.
Jack City, and she was good in Boomerang.
Gothica is horrible.
Wasn't she in something with Hugh Jackman, though?
Yeah, she
And
was
she
in
was good in Monster
A
Ball.
Bond film.
and she was definitely in that movie. I would not say she was good in that movie, but she was in it, and she was topless, which is why she was in that movie.
Yeah, but she got paid for that, though. She
No,
said,
and guess what? That was
"Do you
not.
mind doing topless?" She goes, "Hey, I got $2 million for that, one for each breast." I'm like, "Oh."
She lied because from what I've read, it was a stunt double. It wasn't even her boobs.
No, that was her because it shows her with her face.
Yeah.
Well, she's done other nude scenes too with that Billy Bob Thornton movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another good one.
Yeah. What's the
Monster
name of that one?
Monster
Yeah,
Ball.
there you go.
What was it called?
Monster
Monster
Ball.
Ball.
Monster
That's
Ball.
like,
Yeah, that was a good one
Tia
too.
Carrera movie. What was it?
Wayne's
Road.
World.
Duty.
No. It was
Your favorite movie where they talk about how huge Dolph Lundgren's dick is?
yes, that's the one. It's
Little
Little Tokyo.
Why
Yeah,
is
Little
that
Tokyo,
his
yeah.
favorite movie?
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
There we go.
Great
yeah,
movie.
where it shows Tia Carrera's titties, but then I learned afterwards that it's not her titties.
That was with Bruce Lee's son too, right?
Because they were really
Yes.
nice.
Brandon
They
And I
get a
thought
lot.
those
Brandon
were
Lee,
hers.
yeah.
So
They
I
get a
grew
lot
up
of people
thinking
with that.
that those tits were the nicest tits in the world.
When it's a close up and you only see them, you don't see the head. It's a body double.
Yeah.
Not all the time, because sometimes they'll still have the face connected with
if you guys want to talk about
they edit that.
boobs,
Yeah, like Game of Thrones, Cersei, when she was walking down the street naked for shame, that
Yeah,
she
body
actually
double.
said that was a body double.
Yeah.
That wasn't her.
I'm going to tell you guys this. The best topless scene is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh my God, I'm telling you, Phoebe Cates out of the pool.
Yes.
Yep.
That's iconic right there.
Absolutely.
Phoebe
I
Cates.
love that scene. I
Man,
had
we went from underrated to X-rated.
Welcome to boob chat.
Man, it's like the same conversation I had at 13 at the lunch table.
Well, first of all,
13-year-old boys.
was the best type of scene is the chick with the 3 titties from what was it?
No,
Total
best
Recall.
titty scene
Yeah,
from
Total
any
Recall.
movie
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, Total Recall.
Yeah,
Best titty scene
good,
from any movie
right?
ever is from Steven Seagal, where they're on the fucking
Under
carrier.
Siege, when she
Yes,
pops out of
and
the cake.
she pops out of the cake.
That bitch had horrible titties.
I came in my pants instantly when that happened.
Yo, what about the commando scene
She was a
when they're
Playboy
fighting in the
playmate.
motel and they go through the wall and the chick and the dude are in the bed? Do you remember that?
No.
no.
No one
No.
remembers that.
Apparently you do. It made quite an impact.
In Commando, yeah.
It was formative to Duke's youth
Most
and
underrated
sexuality.
In
Last
Commando, he's fighting the black dude from Predator, and they go through a wall, and they're in a motel, and there's a man and woman in the next room.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And he's like, there was a predator in that film.
That was what was great about those
He
old
remembers this,
80s
the
movies
naked
is they
scene.
would always
He's
find
like,
a
"Oh,
way
there
to
was a
sneak
predator in that
titties
film?"
into the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got to find a way to sneak a pair of titties.
Or
For
how
me,
about
one of the underrated
Sigourney Weaver's
actors
plumber
is
in Aliens?
what's that guy's name that played Better Call Saul? Played a nobody.
God damn it. Now I'm blanking, but we all know who you're talking about.
Yeah, for me that would be him because I mean when
Bob
he did
Odenkirk.
Nobody, that was a damn good movie.
Yeah, it was. Nobody was really good.
And I think if they would give him a chance, could do a lot of good movies because
Oh yeah.
I think he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his fucking name.
I got a couple more things I got to bring up here real quick. The new episode of Gen V came out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you guys
Anybody
been
watch
watching that?
I'm
Yeah,
watching it.
I'm gonna start it. I'm starting it tomorrow. Is it good?
It's fine. It's not as good as The Boys though.
No, not at all.
And I mean, although Duke,
Yeah.
we did get an exploding penis this week.
We did.
Yeah,
We got a penis just exploded.
Oh.
Let me explain how this happened, Duke. So there's a girl in the show that can control blood, and so this guy's coming at her naked because he's about to like have his way with her, and she doesn't want it. So she controls all the blood in his body to go to his penis all at the same time, and it swells up and explodes. But it all explodes and just blows out the tip.
Oh.
Like a
It was great. You'd love that scene, Duke.
It showed you this?
Yes. Too bad we can't play it live right now.
It showed it to you, yes.
Yep,
You
it
actually see his penis fill up with too much blood, and then the tip just explode out.
Yep. It was gnarly.
Yep.
Why?
You got to watch this scene, Duke. It's great.
What is worse for Duke, an exploding penis or like one being peeled back like a banana?
I don't
How
know.
do you appeal? Okay. Where have you ever heard of or seen a penis being peeled? Like is this a thing that I've been that like my life has, just skipped over that happens?
I don't know, but I feel like it's sick enough that somebody's done it to someone else at some point in time.
Wait, but didn't they do that in South Park when they showed the sexual reassignment surgery? And they show him cutting off the balls.
Maybe.
Splitting the penis.
Oh, don't
South
forget
Park.
the gluten episode too, South Park, when they eat the gluten and just.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think Quinn just had to mute us because he's still in his store and there are customers there. We're talking about filleting.
Poor
Hey, so
Quinn.
you guys got Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is on there now.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Really good movie.
Which movie?
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Wait, which
The
one?
Covenant?
Yeah,
With
I
Jake
heard
Gyllenhaal?
my name. Who's talking
Oh
shit?
yeah, the Covenant is good. No, we just thought you came over here to mute because we were talking about inappropriate things.
I was already on mute.
Okay,
that dude's
I
probably.
meant we were talking about things you wouldn't want your customers to hear.
Oh yeah, no, I make sure you guys are turned down if I'm away. Yeah, I was busy earlier, man. It's just like I had customers come in. Today's the last day of my 6th anniversary sale, so I was doing 25% off all comics, variants, back issues, manga, 15% off the entire store. You know, I do a sale like nobody else does.
And if you're in South Texas and you haven't been to Quinn's store, why haven't you?
Why haven't you?
Right?
I've been many times.
See, that's a smart man right there.
Yeah,
It's
my
a bit
favorite
far,
place to
a little
go
bit of
down
a drive for me, though.
it's a little bit of a drive. I bet you could make it in about 3 days.
I'm open every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of far for me.
All right, last topic I got for tonight, and I want everybody's opinion on this. It has just been leaked, I guess is the appropriate word, that when the X-Men come to the MCU, that there will be no Wolverine. To which my opinion is, that's great, because we don't need Wolverine, at least not right away. Maybe for a long time to be an X-Men.
Focus on the first 5 X-Men. Give us the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Give us Professor X, and just go with that. Then you can do sequels and add in extra X-Men later on.
I agree. Because I mean,
But
Wolverine
definitely,
didn't show
because
up
they
for
always
the
try to make
first.
it a Wolverine movie when Wolverine's in
Yeah,
it.
and I get it. Look, Hugh Jackman now and forever will be Wolverine to me. I would when I heard they were hiring a dude who was 6'1" to play Wolverine back in like 1999. I was like, man, fuck that. That stupid Wolverine is a short, stubby little dude. But I got to be honest, watching him play Wolverine, I've been completely won over by Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Well,
And
also that first X-Men film, they were all over the board with the age ranges for the X-Men.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Cougar Jean Grey and 21-year-old Scott Summers. I'm like, come on, man. You know, the ages were all wrong.
You know who could play Wolverine now? If he just bulk up a little bit? Jake.
fucking Harry Potter.
No, Jake. I
You know-
would rather Jake from the Covenant.
Fan polls, I've been reading,
Jake
fan
Gyllenhaal.
polls have been wanting Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine if he bulks up a little bit. And I'm like, what?
Well, here's the thing.
No.
Does anybody in here
They could
watch
really play
anybody in here watch that show he's on TBS or whatever it is? What's that show where it's different every season? What's the name of it?
The one with Steve Buscemi?
Yes.
I know which one you're talking about.
I got to find the name of it
Miracle
here.
Workers.
Miracle Workers. Thank you. Yes. If you've never watched Miracle Workers, in that show, there's been a couple of times where he is shirtless, and this little fucker is ripped like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
He is fucking ripped.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I would have thought that.
He could totally play Wolverine.
If you go into Matt's bathroom, you got a poster of him.
Dude, there's a whole fucking poster of
Yeah.
just there's one poster that's nothing but his abs.
Yep. See? Oh, no. You said his ass, not his ass.
Oh, that's a different
Yeah.
poster. That's in another room. That's in a different room.
Is that the one that's hanging over your bed on the ceiling?
Room.
Yes. But no, yeah, that dude could totally play Wolverine.
You know, I could see it. Obviously, I mean, we see him as Harry Potter, but you lose the glasses, you put the hair on, you do the mutton chops, you know, you bulk him up a little bit, and then throw the costume on him. Anybody could be Wolverine, but see, he's got the height. He's short enough to play the character, you know.
I think Jake is better. He's a little bit. He's just. I don't know. He's a little bit more.
Who?
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Dude from the Covenant. He'd be a great Wolverine. He just needs to bulk up just a little bit. He'd be a great
I
Wolverine.
just don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go that old. I don't think they're gonna go that old with any of the X-Men characters.
Yeah, they need to go younger. At least,
I think all the X-Men characters are going to be primarily in their fucking 20s.
Yeah, mid to late 20s. That way they can, at least 3 to 4 movies, 10-year gap. That way when they get older, they'll still be in their mid. Like Tom Holland, he's mid 20s right now. They plan on doing 2 more trilogies. That's 6 films if they make them. So he'll be in his mid to late 30s by the time those are all done. So he'll be good. And he's not a bad Spider-Man.
I do not like him as Spider-Man. It's too childish.
Well,
I just think he's too.
They rolled Peter Parker back in the comics and stuff, and the cartoon.
Yeah, they did write him younger. Yeah,
they're making him younger. Yeah, which I mean, everybody reboots this, that, and the other, and nobody's ever going to be 100% happy, but it happens.
These new Spider-Man, they just don't get serious enough. I just feel like these the Tom Holland Spider-Mans are for children. Like back in my day, Spider-Man, the first 3 Spider-Man movies, shit got real. That's what I was wanting in these movies, but it never gets very serious.
Yeah, I can see that.
Spider-Man has always been classically a wisecracker. He's spinning webs, this and that, jumping all over the place, wisecracking this, wisecracking that. So for them to do a little bit serious, okay, it's not bad, but I want that smart mouth, really quick one-liner Spider-Man back, and I don't mind that. And this is coming from somebody that's, I grew up with Spider-Man.
So that's why I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, when he was Spider-Man, was perfect.
Yeah, I think Andrew Garfield
he did a really good job.
But everybody hated it.
But he did a great Spider-Man.
Well, here's how it breaks down. Here's how it breaks down. Best Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire. Best Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. Best girlfriend out of any of them is what's her face from Amazing Spider-Man. I'm blanking on her name. Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Oh yeah.
Best villains are the Raimi-verse villains.
I want to see those tits.
Oh, you got Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe, man, hands down, great.
Best
also really good as a Sandman, though. I mean, he pulled him right out of the damn comic books and put him on the movies. He looked really good.
The weakest thing about the Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield movies, was the villains. They had horrible villains.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like Jamie Foxx's Electro or whatever his character name was.
That was horrible.
If Electro was what he was in No Way Home, it would have been great instead of doofus.
Yeah, even the Goblin in that movie was horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Emma Stone, perfect casting for Gwen Stacy. I will say that. Perfect casting. It's a shame they killed her off in the second film. I'm like,
I love Zendaya, but that was terrible casting.
You know what? I'm sorry. We've all seen our, Mary Jane. In the comics, she's a supermodel. She's a wannabe actress. She's always been super hot.
They made Zendaya
Peter's league. Even with what's her name, Kristen Dunst. I'm like, okay, she's cute, but she's not an MJ character. Zendaya is not an MJ character.
No,
she could have been because Zendaya. Oh my God,
I'm not saying. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from these girls.
In the movie, they made her bummy. She looked like a lesbian in the movie.
But Mary Jane's always been voluptuous, way out of Peter's league. That's the type of girl you needed in those films. Let's face it, because MJ's like the poster child for like the pinup girls in the comic books.
There's the whole reason.
What did you think of the 90s?
Tiger.
What did you think of the 90s cartoon?
The 90s cartoon? See, I didn't like the whole sweater and turtleneck for Mary Jane and boots. I'm like, what? Who picked out her outfit?
Well,
overall.
Well, if you think about 90s cartoon,
for a cartoon, you got to remember it's made for kids. It was on Fox Kids, so it's a kids cartoon. I like it. I like any Spider-Man cartoon because I enjoy the character.
If you think about like the 90s cartoon too, though, he never punched nobody.
Yeah.
Well, that was part of the rules on Fox. He couldn't punch anybody.
Well, Wolverine, he had adamantium claws. He couldn't stab anybody. He cut stuff. Now, the hands down, my favorite Spider-Man cartoon is Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Hands down, will always be the best Spider-Man cartoon in my book.
Yeah, I like that.
Fox has such weird rules with cartoons.
Well,
when they got Beast Wars, they had to edit out all the gunfire in gunshots.
Well, they
even cut out punches in Beast Wars.
Yeah,
that's why Beast Machines was so shitty, they weren't allowed to have guns.
Yeah, they use lasers on a lot of that stuff. Lasers, but
in the Beast Machines, none of them had guns.
Nope.
Because it was anti-gun on Fox Kids.
Well, the FCC stepped in and they ruined Saturday morning cartoons in the early 2000s. Nope, all gone. You have to have 6 hours of educational programming on there. I'm like, you got to be out of your damn mind. That's what I go to school for. Well, back when I was a kid, but my daughter, at least thank God I record everything and I have it all on DVD and Blu-ray. So she grew up watching all the old cartoons I did, because by the time she was 4 or 5, Saturday morning cartoons were the thing of the past.
Yep.
The same thing with the One Piece dubs too. It was horrible.
Yeah.
The
robot cassettes, super easy to transform. I had to go on a YouTube video to transform Steeljaw. He was a bitch.
That looks
I can
nice.
hardly see it. That's cool.
All right. What else?
Talking about Daniel Radcliffe a while ago. What was that one movie he played in where he woke up and had those guns surgically?
Guns Akimbo.
Yeah. Guns Akimbo. That movie was awesome.
Yeah, what'd y'all think of that one?
That was a great movie.
I loved it.
I've heard his Weird Al movie's pretty good.
Oh, it is.
Weird Al movie is awesome. You know what else is a really good movie? There's a really good movie that came out. This is before Weird Al. This is before Guns Akimbo, anything like that. That he did called Horns.
Oh yeah, yes, I saw that.
Did you guys see Swiss Army Man?
Yeah,
Swiss Army Man was awesome.
That was oh my god, that was just hilarious.
I've never seen him do anything bad.
No.
I know he's trying to get as far away from the Harry Potter stuff as possible. Obviously, he doesn't want to be known for that. But
Too late.
Because one, you still keep wearing the round glasses. So everybody's always going to see Harry Potter. But the stuff that he's done, like Horns and Swiss Army Man and stuff like all good stuff. I ain't got no complaints with it. Miracle Workers, I like it. I watch it every once in a while.
He's got a good range of acting styles. He's been good in everything they put him in.
And when they put him in Wolverine, he'll be even better.
Yep.
I think he has he had a dynamic choice where he gets to probably pick what he wants to do now. He's set for life.
Oh, all those kids don't have to do crap. They're all very rich. Just for those 8 films, they're very, very wealthy. Emma Watson, she doesn't really do hardly anything anymore. Rupert Grint, he does a couple things once in a while, but again, they're filthy rich, man. Those kids don't have to work anymore, and they're not even 30.
I think the last thing I saw Emma Watson in was that movie Circle. I think is what it was called.
That's such a horrible movie.
That was a fucking horrible movie.
Oh my god, that movie sucked so bad. Yeah, that was really. I watched that one day.
That movie
because I didn't have anything else to do, and holy shit, I wish I could get those 2 hours back.
Yeah, no shit, it was bad, man. Nothing good about it.
Did it jerk you around when you watched The Circle?
No, if it would have been more enjoyable. At least I could have walked away with something.
Right.
She should go around and jerk off everybody that watched that shitty movie just to pay him back for losing 2 hours.
Right.
Now I got to watch the movie.
Right.
It's horrible. Don't waste your time, Leo. It was bad.
I've seen it. Yeah,
I mean, but if I get it handy at the end of it,
Well, true. Yeah. If that would actually happen, that would
actually happen, which it won't. But yeah. And even then, I'd still say it's not worth it.
No, it was just that bad of a movie.
She looks like she sucks at hand jobs anyway.
Yeah. She looks like she would just lay there and just take it and not do anything when you're in bed.
Man, looks can be deceiving.
That's what they said about Marilyn Monroe. She was just a stiff piece of wood in bed.
Damn.
That's pathetic. These are swords from the Deadpool figure, and they're like stubby.
Yeah, I have that figure. The swords I don't like. Everything else, figure's great.
And they didn't. The paint is supposed to come down the leg too. They decided not to even paint it.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's the same figure from that retro carded one that I never got in because they never sent it to me. But
this is actually the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man body.
Yeah.
Great body for Deadpool, but honestly, I'd rather have the Juggernaut wave Deadpool.
Yeah, even though it's on the Bucket Cat body, the Juggernaut one has better paint apps.
It's got better paint. It's got better accessories. It's got better everything.
Plus, it's got the shin guard armor.
Yeah.
There's no Dragon Ball Z back there.
Nope.
Wait, there's Piccolo. I mean, yeah, there it is. Yep. I was about to say, gotta have some Dragon Ball Z.
It's got
Jared
Dragon Ball right there.
Oh yeah. Oh, and right there on the right, you got Broly. I like that Broly. Oh yeah.
I had a shell fall. Boo fell down.
Yeah, Boo.
Boo's always causing trouble.
Dude, Dragon Ball Z is my shit. Oh my god,
got a
I love
bunch
Dragon
down
Ball
here
Z.
on the floor too.
You should watch Demon Slayer. Dude, Demon Slayer is.
I'm on it right now. I'm on the second season, episode
the
3.
Third, bro. The third and the fourth season is serious. I love it.
God,
For
just
the cheaper Dragon Stars line, this is a great figure.
Oh yeah,
$20 instead of paying. Well, I think the first form Frieza came with the hover chair and stuff for SH Figure Arts was like over $100.
Have you watched Demon Slayer yet?
I have not.
You definitely should, man. Demon Slayer is awesome.
Orange Piccolo.
Oh yeah.
They got Beast Gohan right there.
Oh, that's just up.
I got Dragon Ball.
What about you, Matt? You got some Dragon Ball Z back there?
I did, and then I got rid of them because I knew I wasn't going to ever collect the whole line. I didn't have a lot. I think I had like 7 of the SH Figure Arts figures.
The problem is with SH Figure Arts, the main characters, Goku and stuff like it, they're not that bad price. They're like $40 or so. Then you get to like Orange Piccolo. Put a 1 in front of that $40.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, I wanted to get Krillin, and Krillin was like $100, and I'm like, I'm not, no. So I ended up selling them off to somebody who wanted them more than I did. But yeah, I had some. And I got
$100 at my store. It was a lot cheaper than that.
Man.
I like how he slides into frame and slides back out.
I did it for dramatic effect.
I was thinking about doing like a one-piece collection of all the Straw Hats.
Yeah, I want to do a Demon Slayer.
I have SH Figure Arts Luffy for $84.
Ooh,
and the slide.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is probably one of my favorite animes now.
Yeah, I probably want to get one of the swords.
So I take it Quinn don't have Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer is
I got your Demon Slayer. I got your Dragon Ball. I got your Luffy's. I got your Chainsaw Man.
If you got some Demon Slayer shit, I'm for real about some.
Now he's going down. He's in the elevator now.
What about the stairs going down in the attic?
They need to do the stairs now.
By the way, say I am enjoying Demon Slayer. Right. I'm on the second season.
The third season and fourth season, it is way like it like goes from 10 to 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Like,
man, all the hands, the fingers are stubby on these Deadpool hands.
And I do like the blind scary kid in it. It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when he goes into like his zombie form and the second dude comes out.
But wait till that third season, bro. You're gonna be like, damn, this shit got freaking serious.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. We are done. We're wrapping this one up. I got a little injured puppy I got to go take care of. And
guys, party starts on my stream in 5 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Stay geeky, everybody.
Guys, yeah.
Random boobs.
So that will do it for today. But we'll be back.
Matt, the puppy doing okay?
We'll see. I mean, she's still badly injured. So
I'll keep her in my prayers for a speedy recovery, man. When Jared told me that, it broke my heart. It really did.
Hey, man, I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
keep us updated.
Yeah, I will. So, but yeah, I got to get out of here, and we'll be back on Friday. This time I will be on the show Friday.
Are you sure?
I hope so. I hope nothing else happens.
Yeah.
I need to hear another scream from my daughter from the other side of the house. To walk into
wrap everybody in bubble wrap before the show.
Yeah, no shit. So anyway, but that will do it for today. We will see you guys next time. Jared got his chat tomorrow on Collector Express, and then I'll be back.
TC said he's out of the loop. He's asking what happened to the puppy.
The puppy got attacked by another dog and badly injured. is basically what happened. I'll talk about it more on Monday's chat. I don't want to bring down the geek chat. So
go read it on Discord.
Yeah, I put it on Discord. But yeah, that's it, guys. We're gonna get out of here. We will see you guys next time. Have fun, deuces, yo, all that good stuff we say at the end of the chats. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you.
Until next time, guys.
Later, dudes.
Live long and prosper.
All right.